Hello everybody and welcome back to another airport update, this time for the month of December 2024. Man, this year's gone by fast. I can't believe it's already December 3rd at the time I'm filming this video. And lots of stuff going on today. The time frame for this update is not early morning, but more later morning, early afternoon. And as y'all can see, we've got quite a few aircraft on the layout right now, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and hop into today's update. Starting off today, I think I'm going to go ahead and start on the cargo ramp. And on the cargo ramp pushing back, we have this FedEx 757-200 being pushed back from the hard stand. This aircraft arrived in from Memphis earlier this morning, and of course it will be doing the turnaround back to Memphis. As you can see right next door, the spots are empty, but they are soon to be filled by an aircraft taxiing over, that being this DHL Boeing 737-800 freighter operated by Kalitta Air. This aircraft arrived in on a short hop from Cincinnati CVG, and it will be unloading and reloading before heading back out to Cincinnati CVG. This is a new route just added for the holiday season, and it will probably stick around as freight demand is ever increasing in the aviation industry today and onward. So yeah, forgot if I mentioned it in the last airport update or not. Actually, I believe I did. But yep, DHL now flies here to and from Cincinnati CVG, and flights are operated by Kalitta Air using the 737 freighters. Sometimes they'll be subbed out for the 737-300s or 400s in the Kalitta Charters livery, but most of the time it will be on the standard DHL livery 737-800. Skipping back over to the cargo ramp, and I'll go ahead and point out that when DHL does fly here, they park on the second marking over here, either the sideways, one of the two side stands or the main stand, dependent on if FedEx or any other cargo charters are happening at the same time. But today FedEx pushed right as DHL arrives, so there shouldn't be an issue there. As we can see, we have a ground service handler as well as the stair truck awaiting the arrival of that DHL 737-800. We'll probably hold short for the FedEx 75 to taxi out, and then we'll pull in once it is safe to do so. Excuse me. But moving over to the maintenance hangar, we have a Delta CRJ 200, now retired, formerly operated by Endeavor Air. This aircraft did a ferry in from Detroit DTW a couple days ago and has been hanging out in front of the regional aircraft maintenance hangar, and this aircraft has an unknown fate. Seen as it is at the maintenance hangar, it will more than likely just undergo some checks before either going back into service with SkyWest to become a SkyWest charter CRJ 200, or it may be, I wouldn't say dismantled, but some parts may be taken off it, or the interior rather might be gutted out before being flown out to the desert. The next steps for this aircraft's life, I haven't decided completely on what I'm going to do with it, but figured I'd go ahead and throw it in the update right here at the maintenance hangar as yeah, an unknown future for this CRJ, I guess, but it's here. But anyway, moving on, just want to highlight real quick these new airport ops vehicles, these pickup trucks, and there's one of the Ford Explorer, Chevy Tahoes, whatever you want to call them. These are done by Tiny Tug Designs, both on Instagram, and that is also their eBay name. Man, I can't express how long I've been waiting to have airport operations, specifically the pickup trucks, but the SUVs are awesome too. But it's been forever, and finally to have those on the layout just makes it so much more realistic and Have a couple of them positioned throughout the airport today. I'll show off as I get to them. But just a huge shout out to Tiny Tug Designs for not only making an awesome product, but also an affordable product. They're only like $20 plus shipping on eBay last I checked, and you get, I want to say, 4 of the pickup trucks and 4 of the SUVs per set, and they're just fantastic. I can't praise them enough. But with that plug aside, we'll go ahead and move on to the next aircraft. This 3D printed aircraft, actually, a Phenom 300 in this green and white livery. This aircraft is taxiing out for departure on runway 18, and this aircraft arrived in from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it will be departing off to Cleveland BKL up there on the lakefront, actually right now as it's taxiing out to the runway. And moving on to the runway itself, we have a FedEx feeder ATR 72 operated by Central Mountain Air. This aircraft arrived in on a short hop from Huntington, West Virginia, and it will be making another short feeder hop up to Columbus LCK, of course, Columbus Rickenbacker, up there in the state capital. And yeah, with that, that's all the cargo aircraft and the private jet and the CRJ covered on this side of the airport. We'll go ahead and move on to Terminal A. And over at Terminal A, we have quite a bit of action, and I'll point out again, Tiny Tug Designs coming in clutch with these awesome baggage carts and baggage tugs. These are fantastic as well. Once again, very affordable, and you get a decent amount of actual GSE for the price you're paying, and the quality is just outstanding. But yeah, there's a baggage train chugging along down the road, and over here once again, Tiny Tug Designs GSE. We have an ops truck going down the road, as well as a police truck. The Tiny Tugs Designs also released an airport police set that is the same types of vehicles as the ops trucks, except in the police car colors, of course. And there's one of them there. The rest of them are over here, including the 2 older style police cars by AvGeek's model, or not AvGeek models, Jet Set models on Instagram, and of course on their respective eBay and shopping pages. Yeah, so those are the police cars real quick. New GSC galore in this update. But we'll go ahead and go on to the actual aircraft at Terminal A at the newly acquired American gate of A12345 had to remind myself. Gate A6, we have this American Airlines CRJ 200 operated by Air Wisconsin. This aircraft arrived in from Washington Reagan, DCA, and it will be departing back to DCA after the LAV service is complete. All other services on the aircraft are complete. Should be departing in the next 20 minutes or so. Over here at Gate A5, we have a little bit more action in this American Airlines Airbus A320. This aircraft, of course, is operating what was formerly a once daily flight to Dallas-Fort Worth, now is twice a day. And this aircraft is having baggage loaded on, and fueling is just being finished up, and it will be departing off to Dallas within the next hour. Right next door at Gate A4, it is empty currently, but that is soon to be changed as we have an aircraft coming down the taxiway, this American Eagle Embraer E145 operated by Piedmont. This aircraft arrived in from Philadelphia PHL, and after the turnaround will be departing to New York LaGuardia. Moving on from the Embraer E145, we move on to this Air Wisconsin CRJ 200, operating on behalf of United Airlines, of course. This aircraft is currently being pushed back for its next flight to Chicago O'Hare, which is actually where it also came in from earlier, believe it or not. And moving next door, we have this new arrival and a new fictional airline that's going to be based out of the airport, that being Air Appalachia. They will be a charter airline almost in the same way that formerly iAero, now Eastern Air Express, operates. They will be doing not only college sports, pro sports, mining, tourism, like tourism bureaus, like chartered tourism, casino tours, you name it. I plan on Air Appalachia doing that kind of thing with the 737 family of aircraft. Right now they have this sole 737-800, but the fleet will be growing with a 737-300, which is actually in the mail as I speak. And as well as their charter operations, Air Appalachia will also be operating regional essential air service flights for American under the American Eagle brand, and those will be using the newly released Gemini Jets Dash 8 100s in the American Airlines livery. Can't wait to get those in, and I can't wait to expand American's presence out of PTS. I've done Delta Hub, a United Hub, and I suppose it's time for American to have a, well, I wouldn't necessarily call them hubs, more like focus cities. I've never done a hub styled airport, but American nonetheless is going to be doing a focus city out of Portsmouth and Air Appalachia with their essential air service Dash 8 to various destinations within the Appalachian region of the United States will certainly help in Americans' growth and their overall network expansion. And with that, I'm going to add more American Airlines mainline flights, and I may even need to build another terminal, believe it or not. But with all that aside, yep, everybody welcome Air Appalachia to the airport and to the fictional realm of aviation. Stay tuned. I do have an Instagram page for them if you want to follow and stay tuned for more updates outside of just these videos. But yeah, really looking forward to what I can do with this airline in the future here at Portsmouth. And of course, besides all of that news, this aircraft arrived in from Mojave, California, MHV from the Boneyard. It was resurrected, and it will get a new interior, and it'll likely keep this paint job just because, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's formerly Hapag-Lloyd of Germany, and I kind of dig the livery, but then again, Air Appalachia's colors are very different from this aircraft's current paint job, so I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll explore into further customizing it, probably not. But with all that rambling aside, once again, welcome Air Appalachia. Can't wait to see what I can do with it. And we'll go ahead and move on to Terminal B, of course, the next terminal in line. And we'll move over to the new route over here. That new route being this Delta Airlines Airbus A220-300. And the route being Salt Lake City, Utah, which was serviced once a day, every day of the week, aboard the Airbus A220 family. As of right now, I don't have an A220-100, so for the most part, it will be serviced on the 300 here. But that is another aircraft for another time. But yeah, aircraft is currently in pushback for the return flight to Salt Lake City after previously arriving from Salt Lake City. And right next door at gate B4, we have another new aircraft and new route. This Delta Airlines CRJ 900, operated by Endeavor Air. This aircraft arrived in from New York JFK on the brand new route, and that is where it will be departing back to after the baggage is loaded and catering is just being finished loading, or being loaded onto the aircraft. And right next door at gate B5, we have a new route as well, the Spirit Airlines A321neo. This aircraft just arrived in from Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is where it will be heading back off to after the turnaround. Baggage is being unloaded and new catering is being loaded on board the aircraft at the moment. But yeah, so that brings the Spirit routes out of the airport to 3: Fort Myers, Las Vegas, and Pensacola. And that pretty much sums up the commercial activity at the airport for today. Let's go ahead and finish off over at the signature ramp, where we have quite a bit of action, including this silver Phenom 300. And this aircraft arrived in from Naples, Florida, and it will be departing to Tampa, Florida. It actually has a GPU connected right now, and the pilot is pre-flighting the aircraft for the return down to the Sunshine State. And just being powered up for departure, we have the locally based private Saab 340. This aircraft will be departing off to Martha's Vineyard in just a matter of minutes as soon as the aircraft is fully started up and ready to go. Right behind them, we have a private, of course, Pilatus PC-12. This aircraft arrived in from South Bend, Indiana on a rather short flight, and it has unknown departure plans at this time being, but it is overnight today, so you guys won't know in this update, but yeah, maybe I'll know. I don't know. Working at an FBO in real life myself, a lot of aircraft just come in overnight on my shift, and they have no idea what they're doing, and most of the time, by the time I get back into work, they're gone. So I'll go ahead and reenact that case right here with this real life PC-12. Just a neat little tidbit there. But anywho, we'll go ahead and move on to the back of the ramp with this private Citation 560. This aircraft arrived in from Brunswick, Georgia, SSI, and it will be departing off to Brunswick, Georgia once again. Fuel truck is actually pulling up to the aircraft now, although it isn't scheduled to depart until this evening, so pilots are probably just getting fuel out of the way so they don't have to mess with it on departure. But for the last aircraft of the update, we have this Contour Embraer E145. This aircraft arrived in from New Orleans, MSY, carrying the Tulane men's basketball team into town to play the Shawnee State Bears basketball team. Of course, a fictional matchup, although both the schools are real. They would never play each other in real life. But, of course, in the name of the lore of the update, it is college basketball season officially, and therefore we'll have some college basketball charters throughout the updates here until the end of the season, so look forward to those, everybody. For the most part, they're going to be on these Contour E145s. Maybe every now and then I'll throw in a JSX E145, or maybe even Air Appalachia or Sun Country or Allegiant, whoever does the charters for each team. I'd have to look into it in real life and try to coincide real life to fictional here. But besides the rambling there, yeah, that'll do it for all the actual aircraft on the field today. Thank you all very much for watching, of course. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more. And y'all, I'll see you in the next update. Have a great day, everybody.